Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. It seems like Spec Ops is going to be replacing both zombies and Battle Royale in this year's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So today I'm going to really quickly run through all the details you could possibly want to know about that have been released so far. First of all, how do we know there isn't going to be a BR? Well, it says on the store page for the game that the max networking group size is 20, and that probably means that we're going to be getting Ground War, which will be 10v10, or some kind of social space that will have a max player count of 20, but there won't be any higher player counts than that in networked groups. And so if you were hoping for a big team 80-player Battle Royale mode, that's not really possible with that 20-player limit. So BR, kind of out the window. Pivoting our focus then towards Spec Ops, it's not going to be zombies, it's going to be a Spec Ops-y type thing. Let's talk about what exactly that's going to entail. Well, we know this year that there isn't a season pass. So normally the zombies content drop cycle of DLC 1, DLC 2, DLC 3, DLC 4, with a kind of story being told as a cohesive unit across all four of those, is going out the window. No season pass this year. Instead, it's more likely that we'll be getting a different cadence of drops, and there'll be free DLCs, for example, and things like that. That will obviously affect the nature of the content that we're actually getting in each of those drops. I think that it makes more sense for us to be getting individual levels, maybe repurposed from the campaign, for example, repurposed multiplayer maps, things like that, and getting those as Spec Ops missions, rather than getting an entire fully fledged story, Easter egg quest, zombies map like we've been getting in the past. Crossplay is also supported this year between Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and although PS4 still has 7-day exclusivity by the looks of things, that will mean that hopefully on PC, for example, where right now it can actually be hard sometimes to find games of Blackout in a timely manner, those worries should be completely gone now that we're going to be able to be cross-playing between all the platforms. So that will affect that co-op mode as well. There's also weapon leveling across all the modes now. So let's say you're playing Black Ops 3 and you spend a whole load of time getting a load of stuff unlocked for your guns in the zombies mode in BO3. And then you go over to the campaign and you want to bring your progress across. You can't. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work like that. The character progression across the different modes has previously been entirely separate, but that is now gone, and the idea is that in Modern Warfare 2019, you're going to be able to level up your character in MP, and then bring that progression across to the campaign, and then bring that progression across to the zombies, or rather to the Spec Ops mode, and keep it consistent across all three. So that will no doubt affect the weapon loadouts that we're able to select in those modes as well, because if we're leveling up certain weapons, let's say I really want to get all the attachments unlocked for my Vector, for example, then I'm gonna maybe work on that a little bit in MP, but then if this character progression system is going to be consistent across everything, it means that that same Vector is probably going to be available in both the other modes. And similarly, anything that's in the Spec Ops mode is probably going to show up in the campaign or the MP as well. So there's going to be lots of kind of swapping back and forth between the modes there. Finally, the last bit of info that we have, or rather this is kind of a two-part piece of info, is that it says on the PlayStation Store that the Spec Ops mode, or what we're assuming to be the Spec Ops mode, can be described by the following. You can squad up and play cooperatively in a collection of elite operations accessible to all skill levels. Which, for hardcore zombies players, might sound a little bit worrying, because all skill levels tends to mean that things are going to be kind of catered towards the casual player base, but I'm sure they'll have some insanely hard, like, veteran versions of these missions to cater to that player base as well. So I don't think there's anything particular to worry about right now, unless you just really hate the idea of Spec Ops, but that's how it describes it. A collection of elite operations, and that fits in exactly with what I was saying previously about how it's going to be a little bit more of an individual small addition here and there with individual missions, rather than a big content drop kind of model this year. Finally, the sort of second part of this two-parter is that if you look at the special editions of the game, you've got the Standard Edition, Operator Edition, Operator Enhanced, there's also like a Precision Edition or something, there's a bunch of them, but the Operator and Operator Enhanced editions contain an all-gillied up Operator Pack, a Crew Expendable Operator Pack, and a War Pig Operator Pack. And what that might mean is that you can unlock specific operators, which would be specific characters, to use in your co-op mode, and then potentially also as kind of player skins in the MP, and maybe even as outfits in the campaign as well. It seems like if the weapons are going to transfer across everything, there's a very strong chance that other progression that you might get, like character emotes, like if they're going to be doing the gestures type stuff that they did in Infinite Warfare. All those sorts of things are more likely to be present in all the modes in this game because they are trying to make it a more cohesive unit, something that feels like one experience that's unified rather than three fragmented and distinct ones. That might mean that these gillied up, crew expendable, and Warpig operator packs can unlock stuff for us that is across all three modes and therefore would unlock stuff for us in the Spec Ops mode as well. Or, if you want to go one step further, there is always a chance that those could be actual Spec Ops missions that they unlock too. So you might get an all gillied up costume in MP, but then when you go over to the Spec Ops mode, maybe you'll get an all gillied up costume to use in an all gillied up mission. Maybe that's the kind of model they're going to be going for, with operations being what we're going from mission to mission on in Spec Ops. Anyway, that's everything that we know so far about all of this. I just wanted to make a quick recap video for all you guys because a whole load of info came out at once, and I think people were quite confused about whether or not there was going to be a BR and stuff like that, and if Zombies was returning, all that stuff. Quick personal opinion note here on the end. I think it's actually really good that Zombies is getting a break year, because at this point, we've had Zombies every year since what, like 2015? Or even before that, 2014, because it was Advanced Warfare, right? So we've had a lot of Zombies at this point, year after year after year, and I think it's really good that we're finally going to be getting a break, and it will hopefully mean that as we go towards Black Ops 5, which will have more Chaos story maps, we'll be a little bit more fresh and looking forward to a kind of revitalization of the Zombies mode. Also, one further detail that I forgot to mention earlier on in the video is that this game has a new engine, so things that might not have been previous in the other engines that Zombies were all built within might be possible in this engine. So alongside the sort of usual stuff that we get in Call of Duty games, where features built for the campaign or built for the multiplayer end up working their way into the third mode, and in this case being present in the Spec Ops, we'll also potentially be seeing things that we wouldn't have ever been able to have built before in the Spec Ops mode this year, just because the new engine is going to mean that the lighting is improved and the lower level systems are improved, and there's just a whole load of polish being put on the game that previously was much harder to get to. So yeah, that wraps things up from me. I've been MrRoflWaffles. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you hopefully again in more videos like this. Drop a thumbs up on the video. Bye for now.